everybody. You can drive down here with me down the Camafoy Road. Oops, if I can get it in the drive. There we go. You can see what the road is like down here up from Camabai. Houses, all our neighbors to either side. Trying to keep it as steady as possible. It's not the most flat road in the world. There's the beast. And there's the fellas waiting for the low bed to actually pick it up.
Now ready to move, go.
That's it. Say hello to the camera.
Yeah. It's not here.
It's here.
Okay.
Excellent. All right. Alright, so we're going down. They're trying to get that thing to start. I've got the low bed coming shortly. It will take it away back down to the junction where the home is for that. It's a nice fellow, David. Here is the Camafoy Road that all that dirt was pushed out on. It looks pretty good, doesn't it? And here is the entrance into the property. He's actually winded up just a little bit here on the edge, just so a bigger vehicle like a tractor trailer can actually get down here. Here it is. Again, it's a little bit rough because of the tracks, so I'm going to be going slow. It's another beautiful day here. It's about 3:15 in the afternoon. And I'm not actually going to go up to the site. I'm just going to park it down here in a spot where I think the shade is going to be sheltering this vehicle because the African heat is brutal. The sun. There's the entrance. I'm going to clean this up a bit down here. That's it, and there it is. Okay, y'all, so we're back out at the site, and I was going to get in the video, but I am just too sweat and grimy right now to actually be in the video. So I'm going to stay on the other side for right now, but maybe tomorrow or the next day we'll get in there. But we are smoothing out the entrance on the access road. Okay, so there's a lot of tracks that were on this. Was all very uneven. We still need to do a little bit of work right here, but these guys got Cecil, Brima, and Kaiser. Sorry, a little bit out of breath here. I've been doing a lot of work here lately. So it's about 4 o'clock, 4:15 in the afternoon, and it's still pretty hot, and we are smoothing out this access road so that we don't get the big jump on the wheel, because once those get baked in, they're very difficult to get out. And right now it's very early, and we can actually get them taken out right now. So these guys are hard at work. They've got the rakes, and I've got a few shovels, and we're trying to smooth out the area so that when we come down here, it's nice and trouble-free. So it's looking better every time that we come back here on it. Every time there's a little bit of work done to it, it gets better and better. Just goes to show you what happens with a little bit of manpower, a little bit of brute force, a little bit of sweat, and I'm trying to keep the camera as steady as possible. They're doing a pretty good job of smoothing these tracks out. Now this is the entrance, so this is going to be a canopy of trees. So we have counted them. You can see these sticks down here. We're going to count them every 15 feet, and they're called matchstick trees. They actually grow pretty fast, and when they get up about like this tree here, you know, they start spreading out like that, and then we'll be able to have a nice canopy, almost a tunnel, and every 15 feet we've got these little sticks, and you can see them as we go down. And they counted 50. So there's 25 on each side, and what we'll do is in between each one will be where the other one goes on the opposite side, so they're not sort of right across from each other, that they're staggered. So every 7.5 feet off center, and it is looking better, isn't it, guys? Much better. It's a little bit dusty out here. It's starting to cool off just a little bit. I'll turn the camera around. Just trying to get those tracks off this road. So, you know, we got some heavy duty rakes that came with us from Wicks, actually, over in London. This was their top of the range, and they're pretty heavy to have in your hand, but boy, I tell you, you start dragging them, and they do the job. They were right when they told me that, you know, that these rakes would be the ones for you over here in Africa. There's no doubt about that. So there's a Brimer, the one in the orange shirt there, is actually part of the National Association of Farmers Agribusiness here in Sierra Leone. He deals with the farmers all over this country. He knows what a rake is. He knows how to use it. He talks to people that want to commercialize small land areas for farming, and they get investment from abroad to help them to do that. And he's been up here with us, and they're staying up here for a week from the Freetown area, just as tradition, just to get out of the main city areas. And it's been a bit cool for him up here because Freetown is actually really hot, and at night it gets down a bit cooler. What we call cool is 70, well, what we call cool in England or the USA, probably 40, 45 degrees Fahrenheit. But it gets about 70 degrees here, and these guys start feeling the cold. Because we're used to 90 to 95 degree weather. So he's been doing a pretty good job adjusting. He's had a little bit of a cold last few days, but he's got his energy back, obviously. He's pulling this stuff around. All the nasty stuff off to the edges. So we'll pick this video up again in a little bit later point. I think we're going to go back up to the front and try and just sort that out just a little bit more. We're about halfway down, or a little bit, yeah, about halfway down. And we'll see whether they want to keep on going. If they do, I'll switch the camera back on and you guys can watch them work. So I'll leave it there for now. Okay guys, talk to you in a few. Bye. So that big rock straight out there on the right, and the one to the left of it, it's got a big X on it, and those are going to be broken for the foundation. Okay, so we'll do the Apache on those instead of on the one I'm standing on. And there's a few other rocks underneath that Yemeni tree that have a X on them that will also be broken, and the rest will actually stay just for landscaping reasons. Unfortunately, we were talking about that Yemeni tree. We've been having a debate about that and about this rock I'm standing on. And we came to the conclusion that that Yemeni tree is just blocking the view. Okay, so that Yemeni tree is going to have to go. That's very difficult for me to say. It's a nice little tree, and we wanted to try and keep it, but it just obstructs the view over there, and we can't be having that off the front of the house because it's so close to the front of the house. You know, those white stakes, you can see them down there. They are, it's about 25 feet from the front of the house, and it's going to be just too close, and it's just obstructing the view off the front porch. So it's got to go. We will plant other trees in its place, and that's as painful as that is for me to say. That's the reality of the situation. But it's looking pretty good, and this area here, this stone, so it is actually sitting on dirt. So all this in here, I'm going to sort of step on it. All this sort of stuff in here, right up to the stone, is all dirt. So that it needs to be all pickaxed out, and it will actually be two separate stones. And this one right here sitting on top will actually just fall off, and we'll use it for the foundation. But after it's cleaned up and the rain hits it, after 4 months of rain and it cleans it up, it's going to look pretty nice off the back of the house. It's characteristic. It is Africa. and it just seems like it was either here for the foundation or here just to leave it where it is. You know, it was unexpected, and well, that's just what we're gonna do. Okay, so I know I said that we were going to hack it down, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and leave it after a consensus by about 15 people. We had 12 yeses to keep it and only 3 no's. So it's gonna stay. So Mr. Bobo is standing right out there on the left-hand corner of the house. That's the front porch area. So this is the total roof area of the house. And you know, we'll get the site engineer out here. We'll get him to inspect the land, get the corners all straight, get the foundation, and get it all leveled out. And we've got all the materials with us in the container that we will take out and start getting the block all stacked up right over there by the store. It's going to be about 7,500 8 by 8 by 16 inch cinder blocks that have hollow centers, 2 hollow centers. And there he is on the corner on the other side. So it's going to be a big footprint on this house. So it's looking good. I was really happy with the progress today. I hate sitting around doing nothing. If I ever be able to get up here even on my own for 2 or 3 hours and just do a little bit of digging, a bit of cleaning, a bit of smoothing off, it just feels like it's going in the right direction. But we will have the site engineer come up here probably at the beginning of the year, and the house build and the digging of the foundation will actually begin. So keep an eye out on these videos for the beginning of the house build finally. I know it's been a while, but there's been a lot of preparation here. This site was very untamed, and we've managed to tame it and get it under control here the best we can. And it's going to be an interesting process, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I'll leave you with the sun over the Yemeni tree. There it is. Okay. It's always a pretty sight here at this time of day. And we will talk to you real soon. Okay? So we'll talk to you later. See ya. Bye for now.